There's a strange dichotomy going on. Some states, like Indiana, passing more and more measures to limit abortions.
From 1983 to 2010, states were only passing an average of 15 pro-life laws. Since 2010, that number's gone up to 57.
While other states are building a high wall around it to protect abortion. Mike Fichter, the head of Indiana's Right to Life, explains what's going on.
At this point, with Justice Kavanaugh now sitting on the court, any abortion-related bill that percolates up before the full court could be a vehicle to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Indiana lawmakers don't like to see their bills judged as unconstitutional, but if that means a Supreme Court hearing, it could be worth it.
We do think that a lot of these protective pro-life laws will receive a more sympathetic hearing with today's court than they received previously.
Kenneth Falk heads up the ACLU of Indiana.
Clearly, there's a legislative strategy to push as many challenges to Roe and as many abortions restrictions as possible.
Catholic University's Michael New says the percentage of Americans turning pro-life has gone up both in opinion and practice.
Since 1980, the U.S. abortion rates declined by 50%. That's a pretty substantial gain in a relatively short amount of time.
That could affect the Supreme Court justices.
Public opinion does have some impact on the way they rule. They don't want to consistently reach unpopular decisions that, nobody likes because they would lose legitimacy. So public opinion is something that I think many judges do consider. And I think that does bode well for the pro-life movement.
Both sides of the abortion debate are realizing Roe v. Wade is going to topple. Sooner or later, it's going to topple.
Some states seem in a panic that the Supreme Court might rule any abortions illegal.
You have states like New York that are trying to get ahead of the curve to say, we don't care what happens with Roe v. Wade. We're going to keep abortion fully legal in this state.
The Democratic Party has moved pretty aggressively to the left on these sanctity of life issues.
And on the other side,
we see really a surge in activism, especially in conservative states.
It's all just building into this huge crescendo that's bringing this issue front and center.
Constitutional law attorney Jenna Ellis points out Roe and the related case Planned Parenthood versus Casey didn't actually grant a right to abortion, but a right to make one's own health care choices.
And that right to privacy covers some abortions in some circumstances.
These new contested state laws deal with all sorts of different issues surrounding abortions. Can a baby be killed after its heartbeat can be detected?
We've seen 3 states pass these heartbeat bills that would protect unborn children after fetal heartbeats detected.
Other bills deal with when can the unborn feel pain? Is an embryo a person with the right to life that any other human enjoys? Can a baby be aborted simply because of its gender, race, or disability?
Questions that deal with what types and circumstances of pregnancies can a woman choose to get an abortion.
The ACLU's Falk says for pro-choice advocates, the court approving any restriction is a clear threat.
If you allow the state to say, no, we have an important reason to stop an abortion, then states can always articulate what they deem to be important reasons. It certainly is a threat to the existing rights to abortion that exist in America today.
About a third of the states are fighting to restrict the practice in various stages, while another group is against any restrictions, even for babies who survive an attempted abortion.
I think it's exposing how serious there is a rift in the culture on this issue. We even have to debate, should we give medical treatment to a baby fully born alive? And to see the United States Senate unable to even advance that legislation is really shocking.
At the extreme, some state legislatures have already passed laws that would immediately ban abortions if the court reverses Roe v. Wade, while several others are doing the exact opposite.
This huge groundswell is happening across the nation right now. I believe the Supreme Court is seeing this. They're realizing they've got to deal with this issue.
So could it be the day is nigh that pro-choice types have feared and pro-life forces have hoped and prayed for? A crescendo to the national battle over abortion? Maybe. Paul Strand, CBN News.